much. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Members of the club. Hinduism, Christianity. I am here tonight to endorse my friend and colleague as the leader of our party. And I will say, don't go and tell anybody. There's a secret between you and us. The next Prime Minister. He's so humble, he does not want to hear that.
That's right, yeah.
But I have nothing to fear. I'm 75 years old. I have been in Parliament for I've been a member of the UNC for 30 years. 310. There's nearly half of what is allotted to half another bit. When I joined the UNC, I made a commitment that when I left the UNC, it must be better than when I met it. The UNC could not be a party that eliminates all the good people. I thought about this, sitting in the front seat, how all the good, decent people have been excised from the party. A man like Prakash Ramadan, I brought Prakash Ramadan to the leader and I said, listen, let us work with this man. This man gave up the COP for the UNC and then we kicked him out. That is unconscionable, ladies and gentlemen. That is unconscionable. I have looked at Fazal Karim, a good, decent Muslim. We used to travel in the car every day to Parliament. I will pick him up in just before Carpet, Freeport, and then drive to Parliament, and then when Parliament finished, both of us. And I have told Fazal one day, I say, Fazal, you know, your problem, you do lie, you do drink, you do mix up with the couture and the bacchanal. He said, I wouldn't do it. I would try to survive on performance.
That's right.
I try to survive on performance. And you know what? When they were chosen for screening, they kicked out my friend Fazal Karim. And I could tell you he died a broken man. Yes. I know that.
Yes.
He cried in my presence. And all these things I'm looking on in the party and saying, what could I do? But you look at other fellows in the party, and you see one by one, Vasan Bharat, eliminated. Ganga Singh, eliminated. And you ask the question, why are all the good men leaving? And when I spoke to the leader, and I said, sitting at the side of the leader, I said, leader, when Eric Williams wanted to take over from the white people, forgive me, I'm not Richard, but the white colonial, 1962, he came up with a dream team of honest, decent men. Rob Montano was one of the biggest businessmen in South Trinidad. Jaron Montano, CLR James, one of the brightest philosophers in the world. Larry Constantine, a top-class cricketer. Patrick Solomon, the foremost physician in Trinidad. We had Dr. Winston Mahabia, Silvertongue, one of the best orators in the country. A dream team. Why, leader, are we going with our pickup side? And she said, Rodney, get the men too. Get the men, bring them. And I went to the people and talked to them and said, me? To join that side? To take instructions from, I'm not calling any names, because they're my colleague. To take instructions and say, I wouldn't do it. The UNC has come a party that everybody of integrity wants to avoid. Nobody wants to. So I am sitting there and I'm seeing the strategy of eliminating all the good people. And when I see my friend and colleague, a decent man, an honorable man, a brilliant man, a family man, a businessman, when I see that he was lining up for the same treatment, I say, it will not happen under my watch. I will stand up for what is right. I'm 75 years old, I don't have to answer to nobody. Nobody, I have to only answer to Forgive me, back one. One man! So you could tell me what you want, you could lick me up, you could call me dog, you could call me whatever. I answer to. Call me a PNF. But that's the worst thing. I answer to one man upstairs. And I'm saying, under my watch, they are not going to lick up Rushton Parry, Anita Hayes, and also Dinesh Rambali. All honorable, and also Dr. Rodney. All honorable man. You'll never hear you before the court on any matter. You sure? All you hear, you don't believe politicians. Next thing we hear, you on death row. Are you on the police radar?
No.
Sure?
Not even for maintenance.
Not even. Are you in any kind of bubble or couture in the Now you see why he cannot last in the present UNC. You see why he cannot last? Don't have that talent. So I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come when we must put forward our young generation of leaders. It is for you to help us, because it is a hard task. I could tell you when you're sitting in the caucus and you say we had the local government election. Everybody know we started with 7 municipalities and constraints. We end up with how much? 7. And I hear the meeting, Charles, we win! We won! We get more votes than, well I say, well, Dukaran get 150,000 votes and no seats. He won! He won too! And you cannot argue, you have to, it is almost like, you ever live in a place where you're right, but you're wrong? You have to kind of check yourself, go in the mirror and say, am I a human being? When they tell me that we won the election, did we win? Because my team telling me that we start with 7, we end up with 7. And we need to do an introspection to find out why nearly 100,000 people, rather than vote for us, stayed home. 70% stayed home. Why? Rowley licking them up, firing them, doing all kind of things. They'd rather stay home than come with us. And when I ask the question, let us analyze why it is they're not coming with us. I told Charles, you're mad because we won the election. So you can't even analyze that. But the reason I know, the reason is if we analyze why they didn't come, it is because of many things. One, the leadership of the party is changing. Secondly, the team we put up is a pickup side. Look at that side in my colleagues. So I'm not ill-speaking anybody. But that is a side that cannot, in Japan, in Hong Kong, and even Barbados, they cannot make. So ladies and gentlemen, we have a choice before us, all of us. I could have played the game. Mama Guy, the lady, tell her she's the greatest thing in the world. She is the goddess Lakshmi. She is Mother Mary. She is the prettiest woman, the brightest. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So there comes a time for all of us to face the truth. Stand in the mirror, look in the mirror and say, what do I stand for? And I'm saying it. Because, you know, you get a little fatigued. Emmett met me in the room and said, George, you're the political cemetery. And I say with a smiling face, because I'm happy to leave the nonsense that passes for politics in Trinidad. And you all don't know that we have now become an opposition party. We branded opposition. And you don't know the sufferation you go through with an opposition MP. You get up to ask a question, you go sit up. If the speaker stands, you have to sit. The speaker told me in Parliament, Mr. Charles, apologize. I say, well, I apologize. No, that is serious enough. Apologize better. I think humiliation. Watch me in the face and apologize. I, 75 years, have to take that from a dope. Well, Pastor, forgive me. from Bridget. I'm not doing that anymore. And ladies and gentlemen, you have to ask yourself, do you want to be an opposition party? No. You always want to be in opposition, so when you ask for favors, they treat you like a dog. Rowley comes in the parliament and he wants to speak. The standing order says he wants to speak for 45 minutes. So okay, we agree 45 minutes. They get up and say, we want him to speak until he finishes speaking. We object. That's why I put it to our vote. They vote and they shut us up. So if you want to ask a question in parliament, if you ask me, Doc, you ask me and say, Charles, ask this question. I ask the question, I have to go to the speaker, and she could
frame it,
ignore it or reframe it. Do I want that? Where's the sense? Dressing up every day and going in parliament. So there comes a time. God allowed up to men 3 score and 10. I have 5 more. The lady has 2 more. Rowley has 3. Just as much as before more. The time has come to leave. Pass the baton on to the next generation. It is going to happen to all of us. It happened to my father. I won't talk long after this. My father, I love him, Rodney Theophilus Charles. My son here. You know, he could tell me, Father, I'm not speaking the truth. There came a time, much as I love my father, senior school supervisor. He had tertiary education, bachelor's, this and all kind of things. Brilliant man. But then at that time, he dragging the car, bouncing down people all over the place. And we all have private meeting and say, hey, you know, we had to take with the key from Daddy. Well, who tell we do that? Daddy gave X. All you always wanted to rule me. I would take you off the wheel. But we had to take the key away from him to protect him. And we did it not because we hated him, but because we loved him. And I'm saying the time has come. Time has come for a new generation of leaders. And I'm saying that that new generation of leaders must not be scamps, thieves before the courts. There must be people that we could tell our children to look up to. Am I wrong? Must be people that we could tell our children be like Rushton Parry, for example. I have no qualms about telling my children, this is a man whom I'm well pleased and whom you could follow. I cannot say that. Last thing, P&M plan is to lock up some of us. Not me, not us, but some of us. You know what I'm talking about. So the election day, when nominations close, guess what they're going to do? Get the friendly police officer they give extensions to arrest. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be fighting an election on corruption. And tell me, with all the policies we have, all the good ideas will be covered by the taint of corruption. The very last thing I'm going to say is that Trinidad, we have Afro, we have Hindu, we have mixed. The P&M has done a good job in painting the Hindu as thieves and corrupt. I know the things they will tell me, they will tell you. All of them thieves. See some of them rich? Very rich thief. Okay? All of them thieves. So much so Rohan Sinanan said, he's the only honest Indian. You heard that? Yeah. So in his mind, so I know East Indians who work hard. I went to Naparima College. They study, they pass exams, they save their money, and to be labeled as thieves. And then we in our party know that they're going to do that to us. And whom do we present? So ladies and gentlemen, I endorse my friend. He's a man of impeccable integrity, better than me. Family life, he's better than me. Take it from me. Sunday. Where was that? Better than me. Sunday. Better than me. Right? This is a man who I hope could be a leader in Trinidad and Tobago. One that we could be all proud of. And if he let us down, we move him. Yeah, we move him. But we need to give him a chance. So ladies and gentlemen, you are here to help Trinidad and Tobago be